more lighting, man. You think you guys can turn the lights up over there as much as possible?
You're up, bro.
We're maxed out.
There you go. There you are.
Yeah.
What's that?
You see yourself all right?
I can see myself a little bit.
Cool.
Still,
reflection.
still a fucking hazy shadow.
Oh, death.
Not the same anymore.
I am metal. This is the interview.
Do you see the darkness?
You know I'm recording right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Right on. This is Necropalypse, sitting here in Spokane, Washington, with the amazing Terrance Hobbs.
What's going on, everybody? I know I'm looking ghosty, but it's cool.
Thanks for taking time out, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
So, Pinnacle of Bedlam, man, seems to be taking off.
Well, I hope so, man. I mean, it got off to a pretty good start. We got some pretty good reviews, which I have to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting us throughout the years. It's doing its share, and now we're out here trying to support it as best as possible. So,
how's the turnout been so far?
It's been pretty good. I mean, everything we've been playing so far, other than some off shows and festivals, have been small clubs, and they've been pretty packed. People have been freaking out.
Nice.
Exhumed has been kicking ass. Jungle Rout's been kicking ass. Rings of Saturn. We happened to have a show just last night with the band Havoc, which we'll be touring with next month in Europe, along with Syphilic Carnage of Fallujah. So all you European people that are checking this out on the Facebook, we'll be over there soon too. It's going to be really awesome.
Man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, you know, we got some
hearing
shows,
it straight from you.
We got some shows down in South America lined up as well for later on in the year. So we're going to try to hit it as hard and heavy as possible, providing that we can have everybody actually be able to play the gigs, man.
Nice, man, nice. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the album. Personally, I've noticed that like a growth in complexity with like each of your albums.
Sure.
So due to its complex nature of the new one, do you find this one any more difficult to play live than your other albums?
Well, I think that every single record that we've ever put out kind of pushes the limit of the band as a whole. Like, just everybody has got a, you know, their limit of what they can handle and what they can't. And we try to find that fine line that everybody in the band can handle and can't. So between each album, they're pretty much just as tough as each other. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say one is harder than the other. But for the most part, the technicality and the dexterity and, you know, the endurance and all the rest of that stuff is about the same for each record.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, you know, it's pretty cool. It always keeps me on my toes.
Yeah,
you know, every song is something that you have to practice or rehearse in order to bring it out live. So, you know, it's just the nature of the beast for us. You know.
I was going to ask you about the originality of it. How hard is it to stay original sounding, but still maintain your core sound?
Well, that's a tough one. To be honest with you, for us, it's all a matter of integrity. Like, we don't really want to change the style of what Suffocation has been from the past to the present. We really try to keep that vibe of what Suffocation was back then and still is now. You know, basically just keep everything in that same formula that we were trying to write, in the same mindset that we were trying to do back then, we're trying to do now.
Nice.
So, pretty much, as I said before, each record has its same level of, let's say, endurance, dexterities, and things of that nature, muscle memory, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So we're always constantly being challenged with those things as a live band and as a recording band, and so on and so forth. But as far as trying to stay original, man, we just try to stay within our mold, and if there's something new and unique that we happen to come across in our writing, any of us could come up with riffs, you know, and when those riffs come through, you know, we try to formulate it amongst the band and make it as most Suffo-esque as possible. So we're constantly working and rearranging our riffs and rewriting riffs. Some of them we're just tossing away. Some of them we're restructuring. So it's a pretty involved process.
Nice. Did you feel that you needed to do something different with this album?
Yeah, in this album there is somewhat of a underlying theme to it. You know, at the point in time in 2012, everything was like supposedly coming to an end, and we kind of really wanted to reflect that kind of feeling of the time and date of what was coming up.
Nice. Hence
the name Pinnacle of Bedlam. You know, Pinnacle is like the rising to a point that you always know is going to have a downside, and Bedlam is just total mayhem. So that was the whole kind of concept of it, meaning, and you know, even in the cover work, it was like the Reaper is actually destroying the world and spewing its filth
Love that
amongst
artwork,
it,
man.
and everything is just going to shit. So you know, the scales of harmony aren't tipping in favor of anything positively or nice and sweet. It's just fucking demonic destruction. So
man, that's
that was
awesome.
kind of what we were looking at with that. And,
That's awesome. I love
you know,
it.
some of the songs are based in the theme of preparing yourself for death and what you would encounter or what the experience would be like, and what, you know, you're supposed to be doing, and giving back to the record of the universe, and so on and so forth. And
So you got an overall picture.
yeah, there's a
with
whole overall, you know, it's a pretty new age type of let's say concept. It's not like a King Diamond album where it's just blatant song after song, everything falls together in one thing. It's definitely for the listener to be able to determine things themselves amongst it. But it does have some feelings of how we were feeling about the way that the world is and was in some really twisted death metal standpoint. So that's the way, you know, we all
Nice, man. That's awesome. I was wanting to ask you, you guys got like such masterpieces as Effigy,
Thanks.
Pierce from Within. I mean, those are considered like two of the greatest albums ever made.
Wow.
By a lot of
I
people.
mean,
That's not just me talking, and y'all know it, because I hear it from them, man.
Well, thank you.
Where do you see Pinnacle fitting in to Suffocation's body of work?
I think it's right up there with the rest of the bodies of art that we've done. I mean, we've always tried to leave a little bit of room for improvement. I mean, you know, every record is definitely a full standard and standpoint of what the band is at the time, from playing live to actually bring it to a recording. So everything isn't so overly polished that it's like, you know,
Too good.
Yeah, too good, and we wouldn't be able to represent the same thing live. We always want to leave a little bit of room so that way people realize that what that recording is when you come and see us. It's usually better when you come and see us.
A lot of times without human error, it's not that
you know,
good.
I mean, we're still trying to keep it human. This isn't something that we want to go and just program every single note of it and make it super mechanical. You know,
exactly.
As mechanical as it does sound, we did actually play everything on it. So it's like, you know, one of those type of things. And if you guys get the album, you can see the making of it. It's like an hour and a half.
Better go buy that album.
Hour and a half long DVD in the digipack. So if you guys happen to pick it up, it's definitely well worth it. You get more than just a record. You get to see how we operated and things that we did. It's kind of funny, it's kind of cruel, it's kind of evil, it's kind of cool. You know.
It's kind of death metal.
Yeah, it's totally death metal and straight to the point. So hopefully you guys will pick it up and enjoy it.
With you guys being such an ongoing force for so many years,
Trying to keep it flowing.
do you see yourself slowing down anytime?
No.
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 You still got the youth and energy. And,
I mean, you know,
is it still fun for you?
Yeah, it is actually.
That's
and,
what's important.
A lot of the guys in the band have the same sentiment that I do, and we're just looking to get out and play in front of people and spread the name of Suffocation and spread the kind of music that we make. And
that's so awesome.
You know, come out and share that stuff with you guys. And the hardest thing is actually just trying to get to you guys. So bear with us. We're going to try to get to you as quick as we possibly can, and come and play a gig for you guys, and hopefully hang out.
I know there's a lot of people wanting to see you that just can't get out to it
yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, it's rough for us too. You know?
Yeah.
As we get older, it gets tougher because guys in the band have jobs and children and things
Families.
of that nature, and they got to take care of that stuff. So for them to be gone 6 or 7 months out of the year, they can't do it that much, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to change speed up on you here on some questions.
No problem.
I'm curious to know from you especially. You got Italy.
Yes.
You got Russia.
Yes.
Making moves.
Yes.
I mean, these guys are like seriously putting out some shit right now.
They're putting out some fucking crazy shit.
Do you think it's going to open up the door for a lot more European bands to come over? And do you think it might take away from some of the American bands with such power?
Well, I think that a lot of the bands that are out over there, they're doing the right thing. I mean, if they're coming out with great music and people are listening to it, that's all that really matters. And there's always room at the bottom, so to speak. So come on out and make that music and come and, you know, and show it to the world. And if you get a chance to come to America and play, or travel to any of the other countries that are out there and play, it's always an experience. And it's always an experience for the fans to be able to come and see you, whether or not there's only 10 of them or 1,000 of them or a million. So for us, I think it's pretty cool. We've had the opportunity to play with a lot of, like, let's say, Polish death metal bands,
like
such as Behemoth. We played one gig with them, I believe, but we haven't had the opportunity to really tour with them. But bands like Vader and Behemoth and you know, bands of that nature, and even Decapitated, you know, we've played quite a few shows with. And those guys come out of the woodwork, you know,
Yeah.
and just produce like really killer music, and I think it speaks for itself.
Definitely.
So for the people that are out there, especially over here in Spokane or out in Minnesota or Montana or wherever it is, you guys always keep an ear to the grind, because there's always like some new killer bands that are coming out, and even really good old ones you probably never heard of.
Yep.
That really deserve a chance to get a good listen to, and maybe a little bit of support from the fans.
Well, man, I want to thank you again for your time. I got
No
one last
problem.
question for you.
Sure.
If we were to look on your iPod right now, top 5 what you're listening to.
Oh man, to be honest with you, been listening to Car Bomb quite a bit. Of course, some Decrepit Breath. The new Aeon is killer. I have plenty of oldies but goodies in there. You know, I've got my Entomb Left Hand Path. I've got my Pestilence Consuming Impulse. You know, other oldies like Old School Slayers in there. So, I mean, my taste varies a lot, but there's always a lot of new stuff. New bands like Surruption and things of that nature. So, you know, I'm always constantly listening to music, so it wouldn't even be a top 5 anymore, but it'd be like a top 5,000.
Top 5,000.
You know what I mean? But anyway, man, for everybody out there, man, keep listening, stay really heavy, and fucking check out Suffocation. We're coming through your town.
Man, thank you so much, Terrence.
Anytime, man.
Check out Suffocation, Despise the World Tour.
You got it, man.
The fucking shit up. This is Necropalypse out, bitches.
Peace.